Good afternoon, Liz.
Yeah, very good afternoon, ma'am. How are you doing, ma'am?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. What about you?
I'm also fit as a fiddle. I'm doing absolutely great. Thank you for asking.
First of all, I would like to thank you to come here on my channel, and I have been trying to reach out for a long time, but finally we are here to have conversation. So I am glad to that. So yeah, we are meeting very first time. So let me know about you.
Oh, yeah, sure, ma'am. First and foremost thing is that I'm also very sure that I got the chance to have this conversation with you, and I'm really happy that I'm having this conversation. And if I talk about myself, so this side Lalit, I am from Uttar Pradesh. I originally come all the way from Bulandshahr district, and I did my graduation in pharmacy. And it's been 7 years. I have been working in private organizations. And if I talk about my core of interest, so I like to do adventurous activities. I like to talk to the people, and I like to watch Hollywood movies sometimes whenever I get time and read out some books as well. So this is all about me, ma'am. Thank you.
So you are from the Bulandshahr.
Yes, I am from Bulandshahr. Would you like to introduce yourself a little bit in nutshell?
Yeah. I am Kalpana. I am from Noida Extension. If I talk about my education qualification, I have done MA from Agra University and Bachelor of Education from CCS Meerut University. I am qualified CTET, UPTET. I am learner of English language and I run a YouTube channel. Along with that, I am a tutor as well as mother of two kids. And that's all about me.
Yeah, it is quite fascinating. Yeah, absolutely great. So, so I would like to know, like when you started your teaching work.
uh, if I talk about my teaching career, so when I after 12th, I had started it. Like I love to
Okay.
teach. So after 12th, I was free. I was free what to do. So I started teaching since then. And I taught in a pre-primary school and where I taught 8th class student in at math subject.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. But
So
I
do you
was
talk
not
to
very consistent in my teaching career, and
okay,
then do I did many things like I hold the bachelor degree and master degree. Then I bachelor of education. So I did I got many degrees and qualified CTET, UPTET. So I have I have taken lot of time to complete that, and that time I was not teaching. Now then I got married. Then I started again teaching. So and in between I have I had to stop. So these kind of things are my teaching
no,
in continuous form. And
I
recently I
can
have
understand.
started it.
I can understand because being a lady, being a girl, you must have changed your places. You must have changed your profession too because you came from Agra to Ghaziabad to Noida itself. So you must have faced a lot of issues while changing the places as well and while doing some work as well. So teaching is like that. If you're teaching somewhere in a school, so you'll have to arrange many things at a different place. Like when you were teaching in Agra, so you must have taught in a different school. And if you like when you came to the Ghaziabad, that time you interviewed somewhere, right? Then then you attended the classes of school. So because if
Yes,
we are going to get a job in a school, so first we have to give a trial out there.
yes, yes,
And
yes,
now these days, you also can understand this thing that if you are a teacher, that it is must to speak in English in Delhi
yes,
NCR area mostly. Yeah,
yes, yes,
because now these days, like teachers are also being hired on the basis of communication.
yes,
Even in any sector, even I work in Noida, as I told you. So I only can go with the English language. I cannot go with Hindi or any other language, regional language. If I am not able to communicate in English, then I won't be able to considered anything, right?
So when did
So
you start your learning?
So I started my journey 2 years back, but as you were in that, I was also same. I was also not very consistent. I was doing everything on and off. But yeah, for a couple of days I have been practicing,
Okay.
and yes,
So,
I have been doing a lot of efforts, lot of things to work on my communication. I have been trying to represent my better version of represent better version of myself as well. So it's been long time, like 2 years. It's been long time.
yes, two years
Yes.
is so long time, but without consistency, it when you start, so it feel like that it's a beginning. If
Yeah, I was completely cold coffee in that, in the language. I started from scratch. So I didn't even know that how to beat around the bush in English, how to spill the beans about anything. So what I did, I started speaking. As I was speaking that time brokenly, or that I literally, I cannot express that thing that initially when I started in the primal days. So how was I speaking that time? So that time was sounding terrible completely. And so when I think now these days, like how was I speaking in my primal days? So I get astonished every time. Like that was funny moment for me. So that I was not able to, frame a single structure with anybody. Like if I'm communicating with you, so that time I was not able to frame it in a single structure. So that time I was completely blank
so, how
in
did you
everything.
practice? How did you learn?
Okay. So
You
whenever I did,
you spoke so many phrases in your conversation. I
yes.
heard. I am listening to you use so many idioms phrases. So how do you learn from where? From where? How do you learn?
Okay, so as I have been having conversation with people on video calls for one month, right? So what I did, if someone is speaking something, so I try to gather that particular word and I try to execute that particular word in my speaking as well. So if I talk about like vocabulary, so I tried to learn some vocabulary as well, as I told you earlier too. So when I was learning those vocabulary, so I was not able to remember them. I tried to learn some phrases, some idioms, some advanced vocabulary, but that was not my cup of tea. And I put a lot of effort, and that is why I'm able to remember some vocabulary, some words, some phrases, some idioms as well, and I'm able to execute them as well. So if I talk about like any particular practice, what I did, I used an application that is Joe Stock application. On that particular application, yes, I used to get people who used to talk to me on audio calls. So that was the thing I had been doing for long. Like I did that thing, I think for 7 months.
So you practiced on Joe Stock only.
Yes, yes. And before 1 month, like for 1 month, I have been having video calls with the people. I have a YouTube channel as well. You can check out that channel as well. That is Inmates India. I recently created that channel. 1 month ago, I created that channel, and I have started uploading some conversational videos out there as well. And what about your YouTube journey? Like, tell me something about your YouTube journey when you started your YouTube channel.
YouTube journey I started 8 months ago. But on the
Okay.
same, I'm not with consistent with my learning. So same thing with my YouTube channel. I was not with consistent with my channel. So I got less subscriber and my channel is not progressing. Progressing.
Oh no,
So
it would progress. You just need to keep the momentum continue. Don't attach to yourself. Don't attach yourself to the results. You just need to
no,
put your effort.
I just created my channel only for the practice, not for the
Yes,
grow on YouTube.
yes, yes.
But I think about YouTube because if I my 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 videos, I feel like that my video is not going YouTube feed. So that's why
Okay.
I'm thinking a lot. If my video is not going feed, it means no. Some people will know me. So that is the thing I want, like I am also learner, and if they want to have conversation with me, so if they see me after, then they will connect me. So I want that my video uh, get much impression.
Absolutely, this is absolutely the great way because you know, you are working on on yourself, and simultaneously you are generating the content for YouTube. So you don't need to put extra effort to generate the content. So what we are doing, same thing. We are having conversation. We are, you know, improving ourselves, and simultaneously we are creating some content. So we don't need to put extra effort to make other person to come to us and to tell him that I want to record a session. Could you please come on my session like that? So other person is also willing to learn something. That is why he or she is having conversation with you, right? So so this kind of you know, fraternity that we are having here while having video calls. So this is a great thing. This is the absolute, you know, great thing that we are having. And by doing these things, we can work on our communication as well as we can work on our personality.
Yes, yes. So
Yes.
can I ask a question? When you started your learning, that time do you know the grammar rule, how to speak out?
Okay. So no, I didn't know anything. I didn't know even a single present indefinite structure when I started English language. But as I told you that I started speaking first. So I don't know like what I was speaking that time, but I was speaking something. I was using breaking language, and I used to fumble a lot. So what I did, you know, I continued with speaking, and I continued with learning as well, like grammatical kind of thing. And I learned the grammar in a very basic manner. So when I, you know, got into the habit of learning grammar as well, then I got to know the different meanings of structures as well. So we can use a single structure in multiple ways, and we can translate one sentence in thousands of ways. So
Hmm.
that time I got to know this thing, and that time I got to know one more thing, that we cannot talk in this language like sense to sense, word to word. We need to use our sense to speak this language. We can use the different word to, you know, to tell the particular thing. Like if I'm expressing something, so if I'm just telling you that I'm going to college, so I can use this sentence like that as well. I'm heading to college. So that time I got to know all these things like that, and I implemented all those things in my life as well, in my speaking as well.
So
And now the
where have you
consequences.
learned
Okay.
these kind of how to frame in different structure?
Okay. So actually, you know, I haven't followed any particular channel. I haven't followed any particular thing. I just practiced by myself. I tried to understand, like, how can I use a single structure in multiple ways. You know, it's been 2 years to me here and there. So if someone is telling me a new structure to me, so that time I notice that structure, that I jot down that structure, then I work on that structure, like what is the meaning of that particular structure. Then when I research a lot and on that particular structure, so I try to remember that structure as long as I can, and I try to speak that structure as well. So if I talk about like what particular thing I followed, so I didn't follow any particular thing. I just went with the flow, as you have been, you know, as you have been going. So I just went with the flow, and I just did everything like that. Yes.
So earlier you told, like you start with the speaking and you did
Yes.
not go any other way. You just start
Yes.
speaking. So while speaking, didn't you feel fear to speak out in front of other? If I talk, speak,
Yes.
if I talk wrong, so didn't you fear? Didn't you have fear of speaking? Every beginner has the fear of speaking out. Even I also have fear if I go out and speak. So I have lot of fear to speak in front of other.
Yes, I had a lot of fear. I would say, you know, even I faced a lot of cumbersomes, lot of impediments while speaking when I used to speak in my primary days. So if I talk about like fear of speaking, so when I used to talk to the people, so that time I didn't used to speak even a single word. When I start, when I used to stand in front of in front of the people, and if someone is asking to me, that tell me about yourself. So that I used to think, but I have to speak in that. I used to speak only my name. My name is Lalit, and I used to get stuck. So it was, it was the scene with me like that. So, but first time what I did, I attended lot of interviews. Just after completion of my graduation, I attended, I think, 50 plus interviews, and I got rejected, I think, in 30 or 40 interviews, right? In Noida itself. So I attended a lot of interviews and I got rejected. And what I did that time, I just mugged up, my introduction and daily routine or something like that. I mugged up everything and I got the job as well in MNC on the basis of mugged up things. And then, I didn't realize this thing that I have to work on my communication. So it's been a long journey for me.
And
Yes,
Magam, the introduction is other thing, and the speaking out is the other thing.
yes,
When
yes,
you when you mug up any sentences while listening, you can mug up. When the time like you start speaking, the mug up sentence automatically uh, go away,
vanish. Yeah, yeah, go away. Yeah.
vanish, vanish.
Yes. So, yeah, yeah. So, yes, you are absolutely right. I used to do the same thing. Like, I'm still, whenever I think this thing, so it makes me very hilarious. Like what I used to do, yeah, what I used to do with myself, like, but I didn't know like how to use this MR. I literally didn't know like how to use was and was. So, and if I didn't know, so how could I use them in speaking? So I only mugged up everything. Even I used to do a lot of mistakes while introducing myself as well. But it's a matter, it's a game of practice. As more as you would practice, as more as you would get the confidence.
Yes. So
Yes.
every beginner always try to mug up the sentences. This mean is that, this mean is that, only mug up and try to use in conversation. That is different thing. When we practice alone with ourselves, it means yeah, our conscious mind will be active, and that
Yes.
sentence automatically come in mind, so that is learning.
Absolutely right. And one more thing I would like to add on in this. So the thing is that, like, as you said, that some people what they do, they mug up the things. So, if you're just mugging up the things and if you are thinking that you would be able to execute that particular sentence while communicating with somebody, so it is not going to happen literally. When it comes to speaking in front of somebody, so that time you forget everything.
Yes,
Everything vanish from the brain, like what you have to communicate now. So if you're having this in virtual conversation or audio call conversation with somebody, so that time you have to be very generous, you have to be very real, so that you don't need to put anything that has been mugged up by you.
yes.
So if you are real, so you can make abundance of sentences, I think.
I also used to do the same thing, but by that time I forgot everything. That time I just sit quiet and remember the sentence or the word, and after that I feel very angry on myself. That I learn, then I start learning from my mistake.
Okay, yeah, it is also a great idea. We should learn from our mistake. And it is always okay to make mistake as well. And we should learn from them and recognize them and rectify them. And if you're just putting your effort to rectify the mistakes, and the mistakes would also be vanish from your conversation if you're thinking that if you're just recognizing them and if you're working on yourself continuously.
Yes, and I am
Yes.
I am practicing on the daily basis. So now I feel like that I don't have fear to speak out, and I am more confident than earlier. Yeah, because I am practicing daily. and I am consistent. I am doing with consistency. So consistency effect on the learning.
Yes, absolutely. Consistency, like, in any manner, like whatever you are doing, if you're teaching to somebody, if you're consistent in that, then you must have great knowledge in that. And if you are, doing something like if I work and if I am consistent at my work, so I can do that work like proficiently. And if I'm like thinking that I'm taking off for one day, couple of days, and again when I'm gonna jump back onto that particular work. So that time I will face a lot of difficulty while performing that particular task. So
Again, I
consistency is
want to
always
ask. Again, I want to ask a question. Where do you learn your idioms? I want to learn from that.
okay, okay, okay. Okay, I don't know. I literally don't know like where did I learn all these things. But as I told you that what happens literally the thing is that this is my compulsion that I have to communicate in English only. In my office, I only can communicate in English, like with the client or with the other stakeholder. If I want to get promotion, right? Now I haven't got the promotion just because of communication. So that was the first and foremost thing for me that made me to speak in English, and that is why I was able to communicate. So, if you're asking me that where do I learn all these things? So I don't follow any particular thing. Wherever I like, if I'm scrolling my Facebook, if I'm scrolling my Instagram, if I'm getting something that is very new, so I always, as I told you, I always jot down that particular word, and I always try to remember that word. If as long as I can, I don't push myself like I have to remember that word in in any case. I try to first. I just try to remember that particular word, and I try to execute that as well. So I try to push myself like I have to do. No, it is not like that. As you do with yourself, I also do the same thing.
I will try the same thing, whatever you have, whatever,
Yes.
whatever you had done. So I saw your video with Rajni ma'am. Try to try 1 month
Yes.
ago. So that time you were not using so much idioms. That time
Yes. Yes.
you was speaking in generally. You were speaking.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
Now
Absolutely. Yeah.
I
This is
feel
my
like, yeah.
this is
Now
my
I
second. Oh, okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
Now
ahead.
I feel you are more confident than earlier, and you use so many phrases. So your speaking now become impressive.
Thank you, ma'am. And I would give you some compliment to you as well, but later on when we would win the phase of ending of this call. So first and foremost thing I would like to tell you about like try to thrive channel. So I when I started having video calls with people, so I was also thinking that I should have conversation with somebody, and I watched a video of Rajni ma'am. So I approached to her that I want to have conversation with you, and she invited me on her channel, and we had a great discussion. So that was my around third or fourth conversation on video call. So that time I started having video calls with the people. But now it's been 1 month, I think, to me. I have been having video calls with the people.
Yes, yes,
Right.
yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now you more confident than earlier.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, I think we should wrap up this
Yeah,
meeting, and I would like to give you some compliment as well because this is the ending phase of this conversation. So the thing is that being a homemaker, I think you are a homemaker, and being a homemaker, you have to do you lot of tasks in each and everyday activity. And hats off to you that you have started. You already have ignited fire in yourself to work on your communication. This is absolutely a great job, right? This is not the cup of tea of anybody anyone can learn this language. No, it is not like that. Anyone
yes,
can learn, but after putting a lot of effort. So
yeah,
you are, sparing some, you are sparing your time on that particular thing, and you are having conversation with the people, and you are much confident. I would check out your old videos as well, and now you are sounding perfect. Absolutely correct. I would say you are speaking flawlessly, but there would be some, we cannot be expert in this language. We would be always the learner of this language, and there
Yes,
would be a room for improvement always.
yes, yes,
So
absolutely.
we are in the same boat. So we have to keep our momentum, continue to learn this language a lot, and yeah, that is all
Yes.
about you, and that is all about me.
And
Uh, yes,
I
thank you.
enjoyed, I enjoyed a lot to meeting you. Yes, really.
And you are also, you are also the enthusiastic learner of this language. You have already accelerated yourself in this language, and I'm really, you know I literally want to say this thing to you. If you want to be very great speaker in this language, you just need to keep this thing, continue whatever you are doing, reading, writing, listening, whatever you are doing, you just need to put yourself in this language continuously. If you are not putting your effort in speaking, that is fine, but you don't need to lose your hope. You don't need to leave this thing that you are not able to improve and I'm leaving this thing. You just need to keep the momentum, continue. Doesn't matter what you are doing in that. Okay,
Yes.
I would like to ask one more thing. Do you talk to your family members in English?
Yes, I speak with my family members like yeah, with my daughter and with my son also sometimes. My son
Okay.
is small, so I speak sometime with him, and my daughter is big, so I can speak with her.
Yes. So it is must that you both the kids are studying in English medium schools.
Yes, they
And
are from.
yeah, being a Hindi medium, I think that thing. I think always this thing that if I studied in Delhi NCR area, so I would great at communication as well. Because now these days, like the language, you know, has been language is being taught by the teachers in the schooling
Yes,
only. So now
only.
these
Yeah.
days, like yeah. Now these days, students don't need to put a lot of effort to learn this language.
Okay, bye.
Okay, I'm you. Yeah, have a whale of a time. Thank you. Enjoy your time. Bye bye.